Good evening, loyal listeners, and welcome to the second production of the Indian Creek High School Radio Hour. Tonight's play is Time Machine, a tale set that may teach us what it truly means to be human. So please sit back, relax, and enjoy the CHS Radio Hour, brought to you by the Herald Star. Tired of the everyday routine? Ever dream of a life of romantic adventure? Want to get away from it all? We offer you Escape. Escape, designed to free you from the four walls of today for a half hour of high adventure. Escape with us now to the year 100,080 in a world where beauty and terror live side by side in this immortal story, The Time Machine.
When I met Professor Dudley, I thought him as having one of those intellectual minds that was tragically too brilliant. Whether it was due to the pressure of trying to outdo himself, or out of complete frustration of being completely misunderstood, or just out of utter boredom, no matter what the cause, I was quite certain he was mad. And I wasn't alone. That's how his party guests talked about him behind his back. They would politely smile and understandingly nod their heads during his monthly dinner parties, secretly grateful more for the food than for the company or conversation. I was honored to have been invited more than a few times, knowing that his guest list usually included renowned university professors, independent scholars, and other people of distinction. However, one night, as it did on quite a few occasions, the conversation involved time travel, a subject that Professor Dudley was more than passionate about. This would make most of his guests uncomfortable and caused them to leave earlier than usual. Well, Professor, I suppose I should be off as well.
Suit yourself, Toby. Thank you for coming.
No, thank you, sir. I'm grateful to be included on your guest list.
Yes, I suppose you are. Good night, then.
Yes, do you really believe it, sir? Do you really believe that one can travel through time?
It's been done.
Sir,
I've done it, and so have you. We can't avoid time travel. It's our normal state of being.
of course, but traveling back and forth in time like you suggested tonight, do you believe that's possible?
Philby, my friend, it's a certainty. If your mind is as tightly sealed as my other guest, you should come with me and see what I've been working on for the last 3 years.
All right. You have an impressive laboratory.
Thank you. Now look here. What do you think?
It looks like one of those horseless carriages, but where are the wheels? And what's that huge crystal disc in the back? Is that a new kind of engine?
It's a time machine.
Dudley, you're mad! A time machine!
Yes, my friend, a time machine.
This thing!
This very thing?
This contraption! This framework made of coarse and bronze and ivory, with its levers and its dials and seats in the middle.
I promise you, Philby, that on this machine, a man can go wherever he likes in time. By working these levers, he can choose his century, his year, his very day.
Oh, really, Professor?
Like I told you tonight, time is the only kind of space. If we can move all about in all the dimensions of space, why not time too?
Oh, you can't just ride back and forth through time. It's impossible.
Well, what are the journeys I've already taken on this little contraption?
I'm afraid you've been having a bad dream.
Very well, you should have proof, my friend. Just climb on. Sit in the seat beside me, face these ivory dials, and I'll take you for a little ride through time.
Well, you mean right now?
Right now?
In case this thing should take off like a flying red horse, are there any...
Any preparations? No, Philby. You won't need any luggage on this trip, not even a toothbrush. You'll be back here in my laboratory in less than a minute.
Oh,
Before you climb aboard, please tell me, what time is it?
it's 10:30 in the evening.
Good. Be as good to leave your watch hanging on that coat rack.
Over here.
Yes. Now let's get ourselves seated.
All right, I'm on. Now what?
Hold tight. It sways a good deal. I'd hate to lose you.
I can't be frightened, Dudley.
You're braver than I am.
Yes.
Before we start, I want to adjust this control a bit.
Is everything shipshape?
Tell me, did you notice anything just then?
Only a noise. A humming. Nothing else.
And what time is it?
You just asked me, Professor, and you told me to leave my watch over there on the... that's odd. My watch says 8:45, but it was just after 10 a moment ago. There must be something wrong with it.
It's only that I touched the lever to test it, and we've gone for it a full day. 22 and a quarter hours at any rate.
Yes, but Dudley.
Finished scoffing, Philby?
Yes. Yes, I believe I have.
Then hold tight. This will be the real article.
I'm ready, Dudley.
Good. Well, say goodbye, Philby. Say goodbye to 1902.
We went off in the shattering jolt, with the machine swaying under us. The walls of Dr. Dudley's laboratory suddenly fell away. Night was beating after day like the flapping of a huge bird's wing. I saw the sun hopping across the sky, leaping quickly across it every second, and every second marking a day. I saw the moon spinning through her orbit like a ball, from noon to gold, all in a twinkling of an eye. Trees grew and blossomed like puffs of smoke, and then passed away. All the while we were going faster. Now our pace was a year a second. So that second by second the white snow flashed across the world. It was followed by the bright green spring. And still we went on, into the future.
How do you feel, Philby?
I'm very weak, very dizzy.
Don't let go. Don't fall off.
Where are we? How far have we come?
We're in 100,000 and 50 and 60 and 70.
And that's enough! Stop it! I can't stand it anymore. Stop it!
Philby, you alright?
Yes, I believe so. No broken bones. What happened?
Not sure. Must have stopped too suddenly.
Where are we, Dudley?
Look around for yourself. A wide lawn, a beautiful vast garden.
I meant geographically.
Just where we started, where my laboratory stood.
And the year, Dudley. What is the year now?
100,080.
It seemed absolutely incredible. A dream, and a pleasant one, for the garden in which we found ourselves was beautiful and summery, with an unexpected perfume about it. Almost like Plataea. At some distance we could see a large and imposing building, and everything was quiet and peaceful, but almost too much so, and a sense of strangeness, an incredible strangeness, sent a shiver up my spine.
100,080, Philby. Do you want to go back?
Yes, I'd rather think I do.
Alright, maybe now we'll go to 1066 or 1 million BC.
Dudley, did you hear that?
From over there, in the bushes?
It sounded human.
Come on.
Why is it child? It seems to be a very small girl.
There's been a beast here of some kind. I've struggled with her. Look at her, the marks on her arm.
Now, my dear, you'll be all right now. You won't be harmed. Of course you won't understand English.
She's motioning us to go with her.
What about the animal? Did you see it?
No, not a glimpse. Too fast for us.
Perhaps we better go back, though. The girl seems to be all right now.
Leave her like this?
Yes. Yes. I've had enough.
Well, they haven't, Philby, because they're here, all around us.
They have crept up on Samuel's feet to surround us, the little people of this era, and the girl we'd saved was not a child, but a full-grown woman. They all stood 4 feet high in simple tunics, beautiful creatures, but terribly frail, with a plump and soft kind of frailty. They were like eerie figures in a dream, and all we could see was the rustling of their clothes as they circled happily around us, their faces weaved in smiles. Why they're not stabbed at all? They're very loving and gentle little people.
Yes, but there's something terribly wrong with them.
Well, how do you mean?
They seem to have the minds of 5-year-olds.
How do you expect them to be?
Far ahead of us, of course, incredibly ahead of us in knowledge and science. Look at them, children.
They seem to be happy in this huge garden of theirs. Dudley, I've changed my mind. Let's stay. Maybe we should enjoy spending a few days with our little friends. The little people led us home into their valley. They lived in colossal buildings, sleeping all together in one huge hall, eating in another, playing and frolicking in the sunshine. And we lived with them for days in utter contentment. One afternoon, Dudley and I walked along the banks of the great river.
Philby, have you noticed the little people all wear the same clothes? They all have the same soft, hairless skin, the same feminine roundness of limbs.
I wonder if it's because they're all vegetarians.
They're vegetarians because they have to be. You haven't come across any horses or dogs or cattle of any kind, have you?
No, Professor, now that you mention it.
With good reason. All extinct by now. Just as the dinosaurs with us, such a strange and different place our Earth has become.
Yes, I actually prefer it in some ways. Less noisy, more pastoral.
With little sheep for people.
Pardon?
You know what I'm talking about, Philby. As a scientist, I want to learn all there is to know about them and their culture. But I find myself frustrated at their lack of.
Humanity.
Yes, exactly. With the exception of that girl that we rescued, anytime I try to communicate with them, they all break out into laughter.
I was trying to teach some of them English, but I began to feel like an unpopular schoolmaster amidst children.
Very disinterested children. One moment they come up with us with eagerness, and the very next they wander away with something else.
You sound as if you're disgusted.
Perhaps. It seems to me that we've happened upon mankind upon the wing. It's sunset, if you will.
What makes you say that?
Strength is the outcome of need. Security is the premium of feebleness. We come from the time where we were trying to make life more comfortable with electricity, connected with telegraphs and wires, and more secure with convenient of power and steam. And all these things are making our lives better. A true civilizing process.
How can that be bad? What happened? Where did we go wrong?
Come now, Phoebe. The work of ameliorating and improving the conditions of life must have gone steadily on to climax. One triumph of united humanity over nature had followed another. Things that are here for us, mere dreams, have become projects of delivery, put in hand and cared for. And the harvest is before us, and these playful grown-up children, devoted to ambition, what awaits?
I can't put my finger on it, Dudley, but it doesn't add up. There's something strange here, something hidden away. Silence. The year 100,018 may look pretty, but I can't help feeling that we're being spied on.
We think alike, Phoebe. See this?
Those are the control levers of the time machine.
I took a precaution of removing them and putting them a master padlock on the main switches. I don't much fancy the idea of someone running away with it until another century and leaving us here for the rest of our lives.
That makes me feel a little better. The city is so completely different now. I can make out a few geographical landmarks, an ancient building from our time here and there. But even the river seems to be miles from where it used to flow.
Yes, quite extraordinary. Come on then, let's head back to the little people's shelter and gather our things. I've seen enough of this paradise.
I'm inclined to agree with you. Wait, Dudley, do you know where we are?
Yes, of course. This is near where we landed.
I thought so. I wasn't sure.
Why'd you ask?
I can't see the machine anywhere.
What?
The machine's not here.
They've taken it? They've stolen it?
This is where it was, right? It was right here.
Look, Phoebe, tracks. Look here. Where they dragged it. Over here. Come along. Down this path. Look, right there. The monument. They've taken it to the monument.
The tracks stop at those brass doors on the base.
Open up, you little thieves.
The doors. They're locked. Dudley, did you hear that?
Something's behind those doors. Sounds like movement and fake laughter, but
But what?
nothing. The machine must be in there.
Yes.
Besides, let's go. Look for something to pry open the doors with. Break them down. We must get in there. Come on.
How can we, what can we use?
Here, use the ladders.
All right. I'll try.
Break them down on 3. 1, 2, 3.
It's no good, Dudley. They're solid. We'll never break through.
Never? Never? There's got to be a way. There's always a way.
The doors are solid.
I spent the last 3 years building that machine. I'm not gonna let simple doors stand in the way of our only way home.
Oh, I just realized. We may never go home again.
Why take the time machine? Why? Why? Why?
Dudley, you did it again. Where are we now?
I don't know. I lost count of 200,000.
Well, let's look around for a clue.
This help, Dudley?
We have there, Wenna.
Dudley, do you know what you are holding? It's a copy of the Herald Star.
What Herald Star, Philby?
The Herald Star was, is, and apparently will be for years to come, the Ohio Valley's #1 trusted source for local and national news.
I used to always read the Herald Star so that I could keep tabs on local and national happenings. The Herald Star is a newspaper that is guaranteed to deliver.
The Herald Star, the Ohio Valley's #1 source for local and national news, for today, tomorrow, and for the future to come. And now, back to the time machine. We were caught in the year 100,018. The time machine was gone. The brass doors of the monument held. Our retreat was cut off. The thin line by which we could make our way back home, back to our own time, our own people, back to 1902 was broken. And the little people's language was still a mystery. Any time we tried to communicate with them, it was met by howls of laughter. But it wasn't hostile. They weren't taunting us. Their attitude was innocent. They were more like simple, wandering children. Only one, the young woman whose life we had saved on the first day, became really friendly and was able to tell us her name. It was Wayna. She always kept close. She went with us wherever we walked and slept with us at night in the hall. She'd always make us garlands and bring us flowers, which she would sometimes drop in our pockets. The very thing being somewhat of a mystery to her, along with grass or whatever she fancied at the time. I was pleasantly surprised that Dudley wasn't furious at her for this. I suppose the main thing was that we had a friend, and as time went on, we were able to teach her a few words in English. Now that we could share some ideas, we redoubled our efforts like demons racing against the clock, so that we might speak to her and discover the secret of our immense loss. We were talking to her one night after the others had gone to sleep.
No, not we, Dudley. No.
How can you be so sure your people didn't steal the machine? Aren't there any thieves among them? Are they all perfect?
Not so loud, Dudley. You'll wake them. Besides, she doesn't understand.
The thief must be sleeping somewhere in this hall. Why not? They take machine?
No, Dudley, no.
Who then? Who took it, Wenna?
We were friends.
Yes.
We must have machine.
Yes, Dudley, yes.
Who took machine? Other people? Not yours?
Other.
What about those doors, Wayna? Doors. Open.
No, no,
Wenna, machine in there. Must open.
no, not open, not open. Bad, bad.
All right, never mind. Go to sleep. Get some rest.
Yes, Dudley, sleep now.
What's to become of us, Philby? Are we caught in this century to spend the rest of our lives with the low people and their secret?
We'll go back to the monuments tomorrow. We'll find a way of breaking in. Good night, Dudley. Dudley!
Yeah?
Did you just... there it was again!
What?
Something on my face. Cold, filthy to the touch. On my face and in my hair. It's cold. It's death, Dudley.
You're right, there's something in here with us. Smells of the grave. What was it?
I don't know. But look at them. Look at the little people.
It's because they've been stampeded. Let's get out of here. I want some fresh air.
We went quickly from the hall and outside, away from the little people. The moon was full, just overhead, and it was close to dawning. There was a faint sound speeding close behind us, and we turned, our nerves ragged, our muscles tensed. But it was only Wayna, coming swiftly to join us.
Dudley, I'm afraid. Dark.
Then there is something.
What do you mean, Wenna? Dark what?
Dark things, dark place, night.
Why should they be afraid of the night, Dudley?
It's not the night alone. Dark place. That's our clue.
Perhaps it's something underground. It was another day. We had wandered into a lovely, wooded place about a mile from the community. Suddenly, Lena screamed.
Philby!
We stopped short. A pair of glaring eyes were fixed upon us. As we stood there, petrified, the thing, a little ape-like figure, rushed across our path and disappeared in the clearing about 30 yards away. What was it?
I couldn't see it too well. It seemed to be a dull white thing with white hair on its head and it's on its back.
It looked like a small ape.
It was running on all fours, with its arms held very low.
Wena, what was it?
Morlock! A Morlock!
Who are the Morlocks? What are they? Why not tell me?
No! No!
Let's go over and see where it disappeared. Come along, Philby.
In the clearing, we found a round, well-like opening. Dudley and I leaned over and looked down a deep shaft. A small, white creature was retreating down a ladder in the well, like a human spider, its large, white eyes watching us as it went swiftly down. Then it disappeared in the shaft.
Philby, did you see it? Like an ape?
Yes, but also like a man.
So there are two species of men in this world.
Yes,
The little people above ground and this obscene thing, this bleached monster below.
that white look, common to animals that live in the dark, like huge rats, like worms that are cold to the touch. I know because they've touched me.
Philby, you can feel the air being sucked down into the shaft.
Yes.
That must be enormously under our feet. These monsters must live in these tunnels.
I think we now know who stole our time machine.
Yes, then?
Then we'll go down and have a look.
No! No! Not go!
Why not, Wenna?
Morlocks! We never come back!
We must have our machine, my dear. You wait for us here.
No! No!
And so we went down, our heels ringing on the small metallic bars that were meant for creatures so much smaller than us. Down we climbed. Down, down, ever in darkness. Ever, it seemed, into the center of the earth, into the core of the world. How much longer?
We won't know until we reach the barn. Can't be much further. Do you hear that? Like machinery? We're almost there.
Thank heaven for that.
Alright, Philby. I'm on the bottom. Come along. Just a few more steps. Now give me your hand, Philby. Good. We're here.
Yes, in the land of the Morlocks.
Do you have a match?
Yes. Here.
There seems to be a large vaulted chamber at the end of this passage.
What do you suppose they'll do if they catch us?
I have no idea. Better take care not to be caught. Ah, another match?
That throbbing noise.
Probably their ventilating system, pumping the air down. There must be thousands upon thousands of these Morlocks living under the earth.
We haven't seen any yet, except for our friend who came down ahead of us. Why do you suppose they wanted a time machine?
I think they wanted us, not the machine.
And we've come to them.
We must. It's our only chance. You know something, Philby. If that noise does come from the air pumps,
Yes.
why is it so stuffy here? So oppressive.
I noticed that too. Dudley, what's that strange smell?
Blood.
Blood.
Light our match.
Dudley, look straight ahead. On the white metal table.
It's set for a meal.
Yes, with a small haunch. Do you see? Meat.
We know that cattle are extinct.
Then what do they feed on, these Morlocks?
Don't you know?
Yes, I know.
Oh, another match.
Yes. Right here, Dudley. I have no more. I've used our last match.
What ill planning. To think I didn't even bring a Kodak with us.
A lot of good it would do if we never make it back.
Of course. Well, without matches, we have no choice but to return to the surface. Come on.
Right behind you.
At any rate, we know the secret now. The Morlocks living under the ground, are masters of this age, and our friends up above are merely faded cattle, fed by the Morlocks, clothed, supplies, and housed until the day when they're cut out of the herd and brought underground as food.
It's not the fading utopia.
No, this is the future you're looking at. This is our future.
Dudley,
What is is it?
In this darkness, I felt hands. Cold hands.
There are pipes along the walls. Do you feel them? Some are loose.
Did you get one? Give it to me.
Use it as a weapon. Lash out against the Morlocks. Philby, they're here beside me. Use the pipe I gave you. Use the metal pipe.
They're all around us.
This way. Follow me this way. Back this way.
We went back in that evil darkness, fighting every step as we went, back to those projecting bars, kicking and clawing ourselves loose from their taloned, grasping hands, and climbing up again, up towards daylight and freedom, away from their stench and the eagerness of their icy hands. And they did not follow, for daylight was their enemy, and their great fear. And we lived among the lush gardens of the little people, like prisoners, like men without reprieve, like men who are dead but still roam the earth. For the time machine was locked away behind great brass doors, and we knew we could never force them open. Then one day, Wayna told us of an old building, an ancient, sagging structure that had survived through many ages and was filled with many curious objects.
A museum. That's what it must be. A museum, Philby. Perhaps from some earlier time.
I'm in no mood to go looking at a museum.
Don't you see? Specimens are medically sealed in museums. Perhaps there are things, weapons, machinery, something we can use.
Yes, of course. If you could find some dynamite or gunpowder or something.
We could blast those doors. We can get in.
Wayna, where's this place, this old building that no one ever goes near?
Could take you. It not far.
A chance, Professor. A slim one, but a chance nonetheless. All day we wandered through the great ruined halls. The building had been deserted, unused for perhaps a century. The childlike men of that time had long since ceased to care about anything but their own personal comforts. It was late afternoon and growing dark when we came upon the chemical section. We found nothing useful to us until then. Now came the worst disappointment of all.
And it's all dust. All of it. It's been dust for countless centuries.
Another dead end.
It's hopeless. We're out of our minds to hope that nitrites would retain their form for 100,000 years.
We go now? If nothing here?
Wait, just a moment. There's something in this case.
Well, you can break it with your lever.
Stand back a little. A box of matches, medically sealed.
Wait, let me see it. Why, they're perfect. Solid and sound. They're not even damp.
What should we do with them? Burn down those brass doors?
Well, you better keep them. You can't tell.
Philby,
What?
on the floor, you see them? Small, narrow footprints leading into the darkness at the end of this gallery.
Dudley!
We'd better go.
Pick one up and carry her. We're going to have to make a run for it.
Now, don't be frightened, my dear. It'll be all right.
Go on, run!
We came out of the gloom of that place into the deeper gloom of dusk, and suddenly we saw that we were trapped. All around us were the Morlocks. They were there by the thousands, surrounding us and coming closer. The long, even line of deathly white, their eyes blinking in the half-light, their tiny mouths alive with appetite.
Philby, the matches!
Yes, I have the matches.
Light fire here in this dry grass. The forest around us is dry. Hurry, we'll have Inferno here in a minute. Our little friends don't like light or heat.
The fire leaped high to the heavens, and the countryside was ablaze. The Morlocks turned in fear, blinded by the glare. Some of them thundered into the raging flames, and the rest faded away like a fog. Dudley had left a narrow passageway for our retreat, and we fled down a long corridor of leaping flames and blistering heat. We fled toward safety to the community of the little people. As we ran, we passed the huge monument with its great bronze doors that were locked tight around our time machine. And suddenly, in the glare of the distant fire, we saw something that stopped us short.
They're open! Philby, the doors are open!
No, not go in. Dudley, no!
It's a trap! They're waiting for us inside!
Wait or not, we're going in!
Dudley, it's suicide!
It'll take a minute to screw on the levers again. Then I touch them and then we're away.
All right, I'll try to give you your 1 minute.
Good.
No, No, go, not leave me.
And now you, my dear, hold tight around my neck. You're coming home with us.
Alright, let's go. Wait, look, the machine. They haven't harmed it.
My goodness. It looks like they've cleaned and oiled it.
It's a trap, alright. They will be around us any moment.
I don't see them yet.
Come now, quickly.
The doors, Dudley. They're closed. It's pitch black again.
Just get in the seat. I'll be ready in a moment.
I waited for the hump that would signal our departure. There in the darkness, the Morlocks were finally upon us. Cold, persistent fingers swarmed over my body, tugging at me and pulling me away from the machine. I held tight to Wayna as anyone would hold fast to life. I tried to kick them away with my feet.
Philby, Philby!
Hurry, Dudley, hurry!
I must fix these levers quickly, or we're done. There, Philby. We're away. We're gone.
Yes, we made it.
Are you alright?
I'm all right.
Good. And Wena?
Wayna isn't with us, Professor.
What happened?
They tore her from my hands. At the last second, they got their filthy gold talons around her. I tried to save her. I couldn't. I still have a piece of her tunic here on my fist. A little piece of her tunic, Dudley. Nothing else. And we came home again. Back into the very minute in which we had left. Back into 12 noon, October 6, 1902. We were in Dudley's laboratory again, motionless, sitting on the ridiculous contraption which he called Time Machine. Was it all a dream? Did any of it happen? Could any of it happen? Of course not. How stupid. But then, what of this? What of this thin, green silk I hold in my hand?
Our players tonight include Eliza Maki as Dudley, Abigail Dennis as Philby, Emma Vaughn as Wayna, and myself, Ava Crispin, as your announcer. The entire production was directed by Bobby Zensmeister. Sound design, direction, and production were by Carter Brown. And once again, thank you to the Herald Star for being our sponsor. A special thank you goes out to Mr. David Moffat, Principal Louis Retton, Assistant Principal Keith Swearingen, Superintendent T.C. Chevalier, Assistant Superintendent John Bell, ICHS Secretaries Lori Orban and Connie Hubler, ICHS custodial staff, and all other staff and students that helped make this production successful. Join us next month for our third installment of the Indian Creek High School Radio Hour. Our production will be A Christmas Carol, a timeless tale about the true meaning of the holiday season that has become woven into the fabric of our society. This is the Indian Creek High School Radio Hour saying good night.